Okay, so I'm gonna name this video Final Fantasy the Final Fantasy the visionary idea, but flawed in execution or something. Um, Now, what I want to talk about is it may sound like I hate the series, and I would say it's not my favorite, but I do like 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm not a fan of 1 to 6 because I just don't think the battle execution looks interesting. I think that the other games like Shining Force, Ultima, even though that's arguably turn-based RPG in action, but it's still fun to watch. And there's Fantasy Star 1 to 4. I think it's cool. So I've never been a huge fan of Final Fantasy 1 to 6, but it may be because I had a rough experience of playing the 3D one. So, but in general, I just don't like them because I think it looks dull and boring. Like watching paint dry. It kind of happens the same thing over and over, and it's nothing exciting because what you're looking at is a small miniature small mini character or something, and then you look at realistic JPEG artwork. So in terms of execution, it's not good. But I will say this though: what I think this does good on in terms of drawing people in, because even I want to like it, but I just can't. The one thing that I think is the strongest compelling case of why this have such a huge fan base is because the art feels like a dream. Like take Lord of the Rings, the cartoon from the 70s. When Frodo is in a normal world, then it's a normal world, but when he enters the Dark Realm, it feels like another world. But I still, if I wanted that, I could just play Zelda: A Link to the Past and have the same experience, and it's just way more fun because the soldiers still look the same, and it doesn't feel so weird when I have to compare my characters looking off with the characters of enemies you fight. I think the best experience of why I don't like it is maybe the same reason why people don't like the. I'm gonna look at what the painter is called. I just have to look at the movie first. Just a second here. Yeah, I think it's from the It movie, but I'm just gonna look it up. Just a second here. I'm gonna pause the video a little bit. Okay, so I found the name. The painter is called Amedeo Modigliani. I can actually, but if you look at his painting, like they look insanely unsettling and very disturbing. The woman he draws, like they look very unsettling, and I think maybe that's why maybe the same reason why I can't get into Final Fantasy 1 to 6 is because of how off it looks. Like your character doesn't resonate with the thing you fight in battle, and maybe that's why I can't get into it. I just find it very unsettling and annoying at times. So I just don't like it because of that. But here's at least what I can say it tries to do. I feel with the artist, Yoshitaka Amano. If you look at this art, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you feel like you're entering a dream. Like take a cool movie like Final Fantasy VII, The Advent Children. Like if you look at that movie, like it feels kind of like a dream in a sense because it feels like you're entering some kind of another dimension. And I think that's really what Final Fantasy tries to do. And I think when they try to do that, it actually feels like people can resonate because, then it feels kind of like an art form, like life feels like a dream. And I think that's actually a very cool concept. Maybe that's why people are so drawn to Final Fantasy as a series because you feel like you're dreaming about a place and about a time, and it's kind of different from our real life. And I really do think, in terms of the art form, I think people just can kind of mesmerize in that type of world in terms of imagination. Uh, so I like the idea of it. I just don't like the execution of it, and that's the thing. Even if I want to like it, I just can't. But the thing is, I do like Final Fantasy 7 to 10, and I will take back my complaint that I said about being whiny. I think I watched too much Spoonie, honestly, and even though he is entertaining, you know, like if you think about it, like if you have to think about it being whiny, you just have to you kind of have to follow along the story too much. And most of the time, it's just the music taking over in terms of letting the scene play out for itself because they don't talk to begin with. So I don't. In general, I just don't agree with the whole they are whiny characters. In retrospective, maybe may I had a weird take on comparing Final Fantasy 7 to Sunny Day Real Estate. Um, the emo band. In terms of it, kind of has a very mesmerizing effect. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, I think the band is cool. I think it has a very artistic way of looking at things in terms of music. But in terms of what they work like, I just think that they are very good at trying to make you follow into that world. But I think that the difference is, I think that Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10 has just better execution of trying to make you feel or blend into a dream world. Whereas, Final Fantasy 1 to 6 just doesn't do it for me. That's why. I guess I can't get into why people like those games. I just can't. Now, Final Fantasy X, some people don't like that it has voice acting because then you have to actually pay attention to what they say, and some people don't like that interpretation. But it's really just light-hearted adventure, and I think the scene plays out for itself. I don't think it's that annoying, but and I like Final Fantasy X2 as well. I think it's kind of a kick-ass game, so I find that kind of cool. But I do consider like Jade Cocoon to be my favorite turn-based RPG, just because I just like the idea of it, and what you do in that game is just kind of cool. But but yeah, that's kind of what I want to say. Really, I don't want to sound like I hate Japanese games because I don't. I think they're very creative and very imaginative in terms of just be having a very creative imagination to what they make in terms of some of the IPs and such, like but I'm definitely on board 100% on board when it comes to Super Mario and Zelda. Like those are like one of the best games ever made, among other games. But those are like if you think of like in your head, what's the best video games? You think of Zelda or Mario, like those are hands down like the best in just in the video game history, in a sense. They're just very creative. But yeah, if you were to ask me, do I want to play Zelda or Final Fantasy, I would just say Zelda. I think it's better. But I like the visionary aspect of Final Fantasy. I just have a little bit of a conflicted issue when it comes to how they execute their ideas. Like that's the thing is I just think they have a very good visionary aspect for the games. Like they really feel like they try to tell you a dream, like experience a dream. But story, I don't care. I don't care about story. I don't care. Sorry, I care about the experience and the interactions. The story can just go like that. That's my answer to the story. Sorry. So RPG players who think story is important. Nah. The fun part is to interact with the world. Like that's the reason why when you get a blank state character and you interact, that's actually much more interesting than having a set up story often. If they have to have a tell story from main perspective of main character, it better be a good one. But usually I just think it's more fun to just how you interact with characters and how you experience the game. Like that's the best part of a video game in my view. But if you don't agree, that's fine. So that's my rant. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening, and bye.